If you could go anywhere, regardless of any restrictions, no physical limitations whatsoever, where would you go? If you could leave your physical body in one place and your soul goes somewhere else, what would you see? To find out more about out-of-body experiences, the team and I traveled to Taiwan to witness a unique case of out-of-body experience that took place about 50 years ago. In 1959, a lady named Lin Wang Yao in her 40s shocked everyone after returning to life after she was clinically pronounced dead. She physically looked the same but became a totally different person, a woman named Zhu Xiu Hua. Zhu Xiu Hua is still alive today. Unfortunately, I was not successful in trying to locate her and her family. I was told that they have relocated to another place and are not willing to be interviewed anymore. Nevertheless, we have found traces of a story to be told. I'm here at Zhendong Temple in Yunlin District, Taiwan. What brought me here? The story of Zhu Xiu Hua and Lin Wang Yao, and how the soul of a 17-year-old entered a lady in her 40s who was pronounced dead for 3 days and 3 nights.
In 1958, Zhu Xiu Hua's parents sent her away to safety from Kinmen Island that was being bombarded. They put her on a boat to Taiwan. Unfortunately, the boat was robbed and everyone, including Xiu Hua, were left to die on the boat. It is said that Zhu Xiu Hua's life was not meant to have ended. She was just waiting for the right time to take over another body. In 1959, my auntie, Lin Wang Yao, had just passed away. Xiu Hua entered the body and took it over, and my auntie came alive again. I was 14 years old at that time.
Before and after the taking over of the body, what did you observe personally?
She became a vegetarian after that, and the way she dresses also changed. The accent she spoke in changed, not like before.
The people around Lin Wang Yao noticed a lot of changes in her after she came back to life. She could read and write and helped in the family business, which was most bizarre because previously she couldn't do all that. This reminds me of a New Age concept called walk-in, where a person whose original soul has departed receives a new soul. A typical walk-in report usually involves someone who is critically injured or clinically dead to suddenly wake up living like a completely different person. This new version of the former self may speak in an unknown language and identify himself by a different name. Many walk-ins claimed heightened psychic sensitivity and may work as spiritual healers. After 1959, Lin Wang Yao became Zhu Xiu Hua. In 1971, Zhendong Temple was built and Zhu Xiu Hua became the abbot of this temple until today.
Zhu Xiu Hua's husband was a committee member of this temple, and she provides religious services in the temple. At the time, there were many people who came from all over Taiwan to see her. She was famous for cleansing the soul and heal spiritual problems. There were long queues for services almost every day.
Although I cannot find a specific answer about how this happened, but for a fact, we know that Zhu Xiu Hua took over the body of Lin Wang Yao, and today Lin Wang Yao does not exist in terms of her identity. Therefore, is this a case of out-of-body experience where one's soul moved over to another body and from there it just took on a new life?
Actually, anyone can enter the spiritual world.
Soon after the ritual started, something appeared to me. In Zhu Xiu Hua's case, I can tell that the Taiwanese are in general very open-minded to incidents that may not have logical explanations. In Taiwan, there's a unique practice called Guangling Su that allows you to travel to the spiritual world and visit your deceased family and friends. Not only that, you can also view yourself from other dimensions. What's truly interesting is that you can even make changes there in order to improve your present reality.
当时来这边的原因纯粹是好奇的关系。
I came here out of curiosity. When I went inside successfully, I saw my spiritual house and also my life garden, and I saw the deity in it. After the sessions, I found improvements on my luck, career, and my relationship with others.
还有你的工作上跟人际关系都会有慢慢的明显做改善。
因为
She was born with problems of her legs. She walks on crutches since young. We brought her to see many doctors, but none could help her. Then we started coming here 2-3 months ago, and we begin to see some improvement.
带妹妹来一个3个月了。
The first time I went in, I saw a person wearing blue. He invited me to go in a car, then we went to play basketball. When I played basketball with him, I didn't use any crutches.
她筋比较软。
Her muscle becomes softer and more flexible after coming here. She can walk better, so we continue to come.
This temple holds sessions for people to visit the spiritual world twice a week. The sessions are normally packed with participants. To participate, everyone has to wear a red eye mask to see beyond this world. What is the purpose and the significance of this Guangling Shu?
关灵术呢，它主要本身呢，它有4个目的。
There are 4 purposes as to why people do this. First is for people who would like to visit their deceased family and friends, or they have some messages to tell them, or they simply miss the departed. Secondly, it can bring people who are curious to visit the spiritual world, and they can experience firsthand what is happening in heaven and hell. Thirdly, you can visit your life garden, where males are represented by a tree, and females are represented by a flower plant. The tree or flower plant reflects our health in the real world. By keeping our life plant healthy in the garden, it will improve our physical well-being. And lastly, you can visit your spiritual house that reflects your current situation. The furniture and decoration in the house can tell what kind of person you are. By making changes in the house, it improves our lives in the real world.
都象征着一个人的运势。这些地方呢，如果看起来有缺点的话，我们呢会把它改善过来。
I've been told that the success rate to enter this spiritual world is actually quite low. We're looking at maybe 20 to 30%. Is that correct? And why is that so?
其实每一个人他都可以关
Actually,
灵成。
anyone can enter the spiritual world, but there are people who can't make it at the first attempt. However, there are also cases when one can try many times and fail. There is, for example, a person who tried to enter with their own physical eyes. It wipes your senses that allow you to enter the spiritual world. So children usually can go across easily because they are not too dependent on physical body.
How do you know if it's not the vivid imagination of the participant taking place causing the reaction, or whether it is something they're really seeing on this trip?
在整个观灵过程当中啊，
During the process of visiting the spiritual world, if it is imagination, it must be something you have seen before. But most of the time, participants are seeing things that they have never seen before. And this is not a hypnosis, because in hypnosis, we tend to follow what the guide says. But in this case, the participants will tell the guide, I didn't see what you had described. I saw something else.
What's the foundation or basis for this ritual?
其实这个观灵术啊，
This ritual can be traced back to the period of Tang Dynasty, and it didn't come from any religion. It was a common activity for farmers after their harvest to spend their free time participating in this ritual to see what can be improved in their lives. Our teacher, Master Li, found that this is a good ritual for people to understand the other world punishments, that they will suffer from doing bad things, and encourages people to do more good deeds.
Well, the time has come. I'm supposed to stay very focused, free my mind, and yet not fall asleep. So I'll see you when I come back.
破坏仙书我地讲灵，破坏仙书山东主。伊味将来请教主，拜请教主你都本。
During the ritual, the participants raise their hand if they see something, and then the facilitator will come next to them and tell them what to do next. Well, being a skeptical person, I really didn't expect anything after putting on the eye mask. But soon after the ritual started, something appeared to me. You know the monks? The monk that wears yellow with the red one? Knocking on the thing, walking up a hill. They reach like this very like old-fashioned, kind of like a palace, also like a monastery, 2 stories.
Please describe the decoration.
A glass box with a Buddha inside with like fire at the back. I was very conscious. However, I do feel that because there is guidance as to where you go in your spiritual house, there is a very fine line between what your mind wants to see versus what is being shown to your mind.
Do you see any special flowers?
Pink color, yellow color, all over the tree.
What does the tree look like?
It's very old because the roots are coming out. Those marble concrete chair around, then the 2 trees are in there.
She's not feeling well from her lower back downwards,
Yeah.
and she couldn't sleep well at night.
Yeah.
She has serious migraine.
The issues that they brought up with regards to my health makes kind of sense because it's actually quite true. I did have a slip disc 2 weeks ago before coming to Taiwan, and it affects my legs as well. So the health part makes me think that perhaps this is something that can be quite accurate. Believe it or not, there are people who come here and their lives change and improve, especially when the ordinary solutions did not work. On the other hand, there are those when the ritual failed to meet their expectations.
At first, I see some green lights. I saw a kind of like tiger or lion, and I was playing with it. Because there are a lot of noises in there, so it's hard for me to concentrate. But one thing I can assure is that the things I just saw is the things I never seen before.
I can imagine that this ritual is helpful to the people because if you listen to the guidance of the voice from the master, you will start to put things into perspective inside this spiritual home of yours. It would give people the element of hope in terms of the different aspects of their life that they're living now. After I left my body to explore further, I came to a room that made me sad and I didn't want to enter. What was inside the room?
Xiu Hua entered the body and took it over. and my auntie came alive again.
You can visit your spiritual house that reflects your current situation.
The issues that they brought up with regards to my health makes kind of sense because it's actually quite true.
I
was a Japanese girl in that life. I was floating on the water with face down. I had committed suicide.
I saw that I own a coffee business. I was thinking it's impossible. I was an employee back then.
After experiencing the trip to the spiritual world, I wanted to understand how traveling out of body can heal our physical and psychological ailments. Master Liao, a hypnosis expert, has been researching on healing through hypnosis and the trip to the spiritual world. I would like to understand more how this process works.
Basically, the conscious mind stands aside during hypnosis and let the subconscious come forward. In our daily life, our subconscious is always blocked by our conscious mind. Sickness is actually a message from the body, but most of the time we didn't accept it or solve it incorrectly. It would turn to cancer after that. We use hypnosis method to have conversation with our sickness, to understand and solve it accordingly. I've cured many illnesses using this method. Some patients had been sick for 20 to 30 years. They are cured after the hypnosis.
其实我协助了非常多的疾病，然后有些疾病可能20-30年都没有办法治疗，然后他们就好了。
Can you share with me the relationship between the subconscious mind and out-of-body experiences?
潜意识跟灵魂出窍其实
They are quite similar. Commonly, when people say your soul travel out of your body, we can view the soul as subconscious mind that leaves your body and travel to another dimensions. But at the same time, your conscious mind remain present.
In Taiwan, I heard about that trip to the spiritual world, Guangling Shu, and I tried it. I find it interesting because I've never done it before. However, I did some research. Some people say it's hypnosis, some people say it's not. What is your opinion?
那我研究这个技术大概有10多年了。
I have been researching Guanling Shu for more than 10 years. It does help people, but if I use the hypnosis method without the religious ritual to bring them to the same dimension, the benefits increase and the successful rate of going in is almost 100%. For traditional Guanling Shu, they will always blame other parties for your problems, so you have to burn some offerings to please them. In hypnosis, we found the problems in you, and you are the one to make the change to solve it.
I believe, based on what Master Liao has explained, we're looking at a balance between a scientific or academic theories together with spiritual theories. And that would be the best way for us to cultivate the personal responsibility for self-empowerment.
The hypnosis brought me to a scene like in a movie and one that I was acting in. From there, I can see the way I lived before, and I realize that it's the fixated habituation that caused the same problems. It helps me to see things in perspective, and then I made a change and living in new thought. My life changed because of that.
我可以有新的选择，为我自己人生做一个新的决定。
In Master Liao's method of hypnosis, she leads people to their spiritual house, which according to her represents our subconscious mind, which tells the patient's psychological condition immediately. And from there, she guides them to do certain improvements. I would really like to experience and compare the differences of this method with the previous one.
How does the house look like?
It's like a very old Chinese building. It's very wide and it has 2 stories.
Walking through the door, what can you see?
A big statue.
What kind of statue?
Buddha.
You come to the entrance of your bedroom. What is the furniture and furnishing?
White.
Is it a double bed or single bed?
Big bed.
How many pillows are there on the bed? 4 pillows? Switch on the TV. What's playing on the screen?
My children.
My parents.
Comparing the Guanglingshu ritual with this hypnosis process, the environment was quiet, which allowed me to focus more. And finally, it led me to a place where I felt emotions and avoided entering.
There's another room though.
What room is that?
It's a dark room.
Walk into the room. You are safe. Or you don't feel like going in now. You can decide. Okay, we don't go in for now. Please tell the dark room that when time is right, you will come back and visit it.
When I passed that dark room, there was a gush of emotions that brought tears to my eyes. In all our lives, we all have a dark room, a place we keep secrets, a place we hide what we are most fearful of. In this dark room, I saw that someone I love very much had passed away. And that room had a lot of emotions of sadness, something that we would realistically feel. So, putting that in mind, I ask, is out-of-body experience premeditated? Or is it really something that happens out of your control? Out-of-body experiences, from what I have learned, it can happen to you naturally out of the blue without you knowing. Or it could be learned and managed and controlled through classes. Spiritualists will tell you that the pineal gland is at work, opening your third eye. Scientists will say that that is possibly true, but there is no absolute scientific evidence. Therefore, what do you believe? And what do you see? Is it true? Is it real? Is it about the future, or just your mind playing tricks on you? That is the question, isn't it? So like I always say, what we see may not be real, and what is real, we may not see.